Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central with another Stormgate cast for you guys today. This is going to be the fourth and final quarterfinal match in the Alpha Navigators Cup, number 12. And we're going to be looking at Kel versus Theory, Infernal versus Infernal, Theory playing in the red trunks and Kel down in the bottom left in the blue. So, Kel, not all too well known, at least by myself, before he started in Stormgate. He did pretty well though. He did get through to the qualifiers for the EGC TV $10,000 Stormgate tournament back in one of the previous playtests. It wasn't the Frigate playtest, it was the one before that. I forget the technical names for them. I believe it was Elephant, but don't quote me on that one. But he is an extremely competent Infernal player, been in many tournaments throughout the various alphas and betas of Stormgate. And Theory, of course, you guys may be slightly more familiar with him. He actually wasn't in the EGC TV tournament, but he has been pretty much at the top of the Infernal game in most of the betas. Of course, an ex-StarCraft 2 player. He played Protoss there. He's also dabbled in CS 1.6 back in the old days. He also played Warcraft 3. He's played Dota. He's played a bunch of competitive games. If the game is competitive, he'll give it a try, it looks like, and that's certainly what he's going to do here today. He comes from the US of A, and Mr. Kel comes from the UK, my motherland. Go Kel. No, just kidding. We don't hold biases here. So we see Kel going for a slightly earlier expansion than Theory. He has only gotten the one Iron Vault here, and then he's expanded on top of that. Theory, on the other hand, he has gone for Iron Vault Conclave, and no expansion up yet. He has gotten a Brute out as well, so we may possibly be seeing some early aggression here from Theory, and then with an expansion behind that, so he's probably going to be looking to deny the expansion of Kel and then get his own. Kel has, of course, already started moving out on the map, and he's gotten that very first Luminite resource mine there. He's also taken one of the speed camps now to the side. I can see as Theory chops down these trees with the little lumberjack imps there. So Theory's actually going to go and take his Luminite mine here as well now. You will notice the way that Kel did this is he uses the Skull of Shedder from the Hexen to infest one of the creeps, and then he kills it with the Hexen, and then once he's gotten a Fiend out, he's able to kill the rest of them, because, you know, those starter creeps, they're not too hard to kill. Going to be a little bit of a tussle here over this observation creep camp. The chicken goes down, and this one is going to go to Theory. I guess he's got... Or did he have one more gun or something there? Anyway, it was enough for Kel to want to step away from that. Yeah, he doesn't have any gaunts there, but he does have a couple of Fiends coming in now, so we're going to see if he wants to have a little further tussle over this point. Of course, the points now, they're not just captured. You don't just kill the creeps and then they're done. Those towers do remain until the person on the opposite team, or the other player, I should say, captures them back. But over time, the creeps still will respawn, and when they do respawn, then whoever had that tower will lose it. I'll be able to go and kill the creeps again and regain control over the tower. And Kel is looking to take his health camp down there. Uh-oh, looks like Theory's coming. You do have to be careful here because, you know, those deers, they may look fluffy and cute and harmless, but they pack a punch, man. They've got some serious missiles, some serious munitions. Don't worry, they are a placeholder. Of course, it's just for the beta test, and once early access comes around, I'm sure they're going to have replaced them with something a little bit more menacing. So Theory is going to take that health camp and heal up here. Haven't really seen too much out of Theory. Like, I haven't been watching his games too much during the Frigate playtest. From the one before, then it was all about the big Dune drops, right? It was all about the Harbinger drops with the Gaunts and the Infest, and then it was all about the Flame on Imps breaking the front lines of Vanguard armies and whatnot, but who knows what his playstyle is like now. The Hexens, of course, seem to be very good. In the last game, we saw Snockstar going up against Captain Alex, Snockstar taking that series 2-0, the winner of this series is going to go and face him, and he made great use of the Hexen's Miasma ability, which infests all units underneath, and it also increases their damage taken from Infest by 700%. So fantastic against biological units, like we see from the Infernal host here. Theory having a little poke there in the third of Kel. Not able to get much done, and his own third now coming up. But Kel is definitely ahead in the macro game. He, of course, did get his second down a little bit before Theory, so probably favouring Kel right now. I think Theory's army does seem to be slightly stronger. Not as many brutes out here for Kel, so, you know, it is a little bit of a risk to go and face that army head on. But, yeah, man, I think economically, Kel seems to be slightly, ever so slightly ahead here. I do wish we could see some in-game numbers and I could tell you guys like what the incomes are. Hopefully those sorts of features are going to be added with early access release and beyond. And by the way, if you guys aren't aware, early access for the game is going to be launching on the 30th of July. And if you are a backer, like a Kickstarter backer for the game, or if you've purchased one of the early access packs over on Steam, you will be able to play then. Otherwise, it's going to be free to play on the 13th of August. 5 conclaves and the Twilight Spire coming up for Mr. Theory of the US of A. So most likely we're going to see some Harbinger play here from Theory. I don't see a Ritual Chamber, so I don't think we're going to see any Spriggans. Question is, how many Harbingers is he going to get out? There's one of them. And what is he loading up here? Is he going to do something? We saw Snockstar doing this in the last series, where he would drop in the mineral line, or I should say the Luminite mine. Oh, there's the Cabal coming right now. He would drop a Cabal there, cast Miasma, and then he'd also drop a Brute and a couple of Gaunts with it, and try to get some kills on the Bob Workers. Now, that didn't work against the Bob Workers because they have Overcharge, which increases their armor by 200%, and of course they could heal themselves as well. Not the case against the Imps, though, is it? So let's see if this is any more effective against the Imps. The Shroud Stone does come down there, calling that in from the top bar, right on time for Kel, so he popped that, like, instantaneously there. There was absolutely no lack of reaction time on his part. Great defense. And Theory's going to have to run away here. Oh, is he going to go for the observation creep? He's got to be careful here. Kel is coming up with a bunch of Gaunts, and he might lose those Hexens. He definitely doesn't want to do that because those can be so powerful later on in the game once you have them in your army and you have this big Deathball group of biological units that you're going up against. Dropping a couple of those miasmas in the army does so much damage. And they actually have to channel the cast as well. A couple of Magmadons coming down here now, and it looks like Kel has a slight advantage. Remember, Theory has gone for just pretty much mass Gaunts here, right? Because he only has the Conclave, so there's really not too much he can make. He can make Gaunts, Hexens, he can also make Weavers, of course, but not really going to be that useful in this particular matchup, so it looks like he's just going for like a mass Gaunt style, so very interested to see how that's going to turn out. The Gaunts, of course, can no longer infest, but they do more damage to make up for it, so they are now a pretty decent ranged unit. Kel having a nice little poke in the front there. The Sim City is pretty decent for Theory, though, so he knows if that army comes and engages, he's most likely going to lose everything, so he does back away. Probably a smart choice. Broken Crown Hinterlands, of course, has a lot of different flanking routes. You have these 2 central islands with multiple ramps up and down, and those can often be pivotal locations to keep control of because, of course, whoever has the high ground has the advantage, as we learned from Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Kel's going to have another sneaky little push into the 4th here. But Theory is having none of that. The Sim City is actually really nice for Theory here. It's making it so difficult for him to get those Magmadons in there. They are just slightly too big. And another drop now coming in on the Therium of Kel. Only Gaunts this time, it looks like. And the Shroud Stone is going to come down again. Those Shroud Stones, they are not regular Shroud Stones. This is a new top bar ability. You drop a Shroud Stone, and it's like a super-powered one. I believe they do 200% damage. So, you know, as you can see, it swept up, mopped up those Gaunts. No problem at all. So Kel just going to be sitting on that high ground there. He's also got a 5th I can see on the map over on the left side, which is just towards, like right in the middle of the map, next to the left part of high ground. So instead of moving out to the right, that's generally what these Infernal players seem to like to do. Go more towards the center of the map and take control of that high ground and the observation creep camps, rather than going out towards like the east of the map. A lot of gaunts now coming out for Kel, so he seems to... Oh, wow, 5 Magmadons coming in here. Theory has to be really, really careful. If those get on top of the gaunts, they're going to absolutely destroy. He's going to take out all of the trees there. You thought that Theory had a great position and super defensive, but now all of a sudden, everything is super, super open. We've got 1 Hellborn mixed in here as well for a little bit of siege damage, just to put on some extra pressure. Massive miasmas going down here for Theory, but Kel doing a great job microing out of those. Those miasmas, they do have to be channeled, guys, so the Hexen's casting them as soon as they are interrupted, as soon as you move them, and one of them dies and goes down there, another Hexen goes down, that will cancel the channel, it will cancel the cast. But there is a lot of gaunts coming out from Theory here, man, and he's sniping those Magmadons. Just look at how much damage those gaunts now do. He's going to come in here and snipe the Hellborn as well. These Hellborn have absolutely nowhere to go. Fiend's now running up and giving chase, and he's got to lose all of these Hellborns here. They're just too slow, and the gaunts are way too fast. So nice play there by Theory. Really, really good defense. And all of a sudden, Kel is probably thinking, maybe Magmadons weren't the way. Maybe when you get enough Magmadons, like I say, if you can get them on top of that army, and you can get the stomps off, then you can do some serious damage. But if he just really isn't going to let you get there, the miasmas are keeping you at bay, the gaunts are keeping you at bay, it is just so difficult. And now him moving up, taking this high ground and sniping down on this vulnerable 5th of Kel's here. Absolutely love this play. Again, these miasmas, they just do so well with the melee units. They're such a pain in the butt. You have to move around them. Of course, every time you cast miasma with a Hexen, it does cost a certain amount of energy, and then it costs channeled energy to keep it going. So as the defending player, if you move back away from it, eventually the Hexens are going to run out of energy, and that is one way you can get around it. Alternatively, you can try somehow and snipe the Hexens, but they have a pretty good range on that cast, so you really have to come in behind the army and try to flank them while they're at the back there. There are some Weavers out here for Theory as well, so you might be thinking perhaps Mass Hellborn is the answer to this. Something that can outrange those miasmas, but just as the 3 Hellborn get here, the Weavers are coming on down. I mean, Theory's also got Hellborn of his own, still sniping on those imps, still sniping the expansion. I just don't really see how there's any way out of this for Kel, man. Theory, of course, he's taken his own 5th expansion up to the north there. He's decided to go for the other location, and Kel has been forced back. Once you start to expand, like Broken Crown, it's not really the biggest map. So once you get to this point in the game where people are getting 4, 5, 6 expansions really at a maximum, both of you are pretty much just in the middle of the map, and the expansions closest to each other are right on the other side of this central island. So it becomes this constant back and forth between armies, and like I said before, whoever holds the high ground has the biggest advantage. Those Weavers, of course, are freely able to walk up and down cliffs because they're on stilts, or they've got really long legs. Oh, a Magmadon does manage to get in there and gets a nice stun on all of the gaunts there, but it's only the single Magmadon, so it's not really going to be enough there. If it would have been several of them, that might have worked out. Those miasmas are not going to do much of anything. And I think this is at least going to be the end of this expansion, of this base for Kel here. He is going to take out the rest of this army. Again, sending in 1 Magmadon, it's not really going to do too much. There aren't enough gaunts here and enough ranged units that it's just going to get sniped off like that. And he's going to continue to push down here. Probably now backing up and taking out the expansion. In fact, the expansion's already dead. It must have gotten sniped off by the Hellborn. So Theory now up 1 base. And what is Kel's answer going to be to this? We do see a ritual chamber now in Kel's base as well. So it looks like he's going to possibly be getting some Weavers out to counter the enemy Weavers, so to speak. Nice little mine there in the middle of the map. Those are definitely useful. Any enemies that step on top of them. Oh, a bunch of them there actually down on the other side. Yeah, any enemies that step on top of those mines, they will get infested. Which is not... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I guess Kel just must have GG'd there. Unfortunately, in the replays of games, you can't see what players are typing, so we don't really know when somebody GG's unless they do the little emote on the floor, like on the actual map of the game. So I guess Kel just scouted there with that gun and he thought, oh hell no, there's no way I'm coming back from this game. It's a GG. So 1-0 to Theory at the moment. And we're going to be moving on to the second map here, which is, once again, Lost Hope. This is one of the new maps, the 4-player map. We have Theory spawning in the top right position. And in the bottom right, as my cat meows for you there, we have Kel. So, obviously, a much larger map than Broken Crown. This Hexen is going to get the imp as it moves out to go Shrine first here for Kel. Pretty annoying. He's also going to get the Skull of Shedder on there. And the Infest. Okay, nice save there by Kel. Iron Vault Conclave coming out for Theory once again here, so he's not changing anything up. Kel, on the other hand, in the last game he did go Iron Vault first and then expanded. So this game he was looking to go Shrine first. Doing a little bit of creeping on his own there. Is he going to go down? Oh my god, that imp's like on 2 health or something. He's literally clinging on by a thread of life. Oh, he takes the expansion there. Okay, nice one. So he did originally want to go for the slightly further in Illuminite only expansion, but there is also a Illuminite Therium one back here at the back, which is not a lesser expansion by any means, but Theory has delayed this expansion, right? This was supposed to be a super fast Shrine first, and now it's pretty much come along at the same time as if he would have built Iron Vault first and then gone for the Shrine. So I'm not sure what Theory's follow-up is going to be on this. We do see a Brute now starting to contest Kel's Hexen, so this could be a little bit scary for Kel. He does now have that Conclave coming down on the high ground there, but maybe because of that different expansion, Theory is going to be able to just sneak on by the low ground directly to where the expansion is and just kill that. So that could be a bit of a danger. Got some Fiends coming down here as well. This is a really nice way to do it, even on a massive map like this, where the run distance between bases is very far, and let's remember they do have, like, kind of close spawns here. You can just split the Brutes. Instead of waiting for the Brute to get all the way down south, he just splits the Brute, right? And the Fiends are so much quicker, they're going to run all the way across there, and now there is some serious pressure coming in from Theory here. He has not taken an expansion back home, so he is putting all of his resources right now into making units. Great little snipe there on the Fiend by the Gaunt. Got to be careful of that Brute though. Watch out, Theory. Take that Gaunt back. Oh no, too late. It's dead. But I don't think it's going to matter too much. There are going to be a couple of Fiends coming out here. Don't forget he still has the Hex in there, and every Skull of Shedder that comes out is an infested unit that is then going to spawn another Fiend for Theory. And there is one more Brute come out here, but you know what? Theory, he's got plenty of Fiends to deal with this Brute. Ring around the roses here with the Hexen and the Brute. The Brute goes down, and the Fiends are going to go down here as well. And I think this Shrine may be dead. Although, maybe the Brute couldn't know it. The Brute's backing off as well. The Shrine goes down. Definitely major advantage for Theory here. If, yeah, it looks like he's just taken the game. Kel just leaves. He says, I've got no chance, and that is going to be a GG. So Theory takes this one 2-0. He is going to be going up in the semi-final against Snockstar. That's going to be another Infernal versus Infernal. Guys, if you enjoyed the cast here on the channel today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be going into the semi-finals of the Alpha Navigators Cup number 12, and that's not something you want to miss. So hit the subscribe button. Your support is ever so much appreciated. Thank you for watching the video today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.